Mae Mariyam Thomas, and I run a podcast production company and consultancy based in Bombay called Maed In India, spelled M-A-E-D, because my name is Mae, spelled M-A-E. I'm excited to be part of the International Women's Podcast Festival in partnership with Pinterest, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the podcast space in India. Let's start with a couple of stats. In 2020, Voxnest did a mid-year review called The State of the Podcast Universe. And in that 24-page document, India cropped up in one stat. It was the second fastest growing podcast listenership in the world. In 2019, PricewaterhouseCoopers released a study that said that India was the world's third largest podcast market after China and the US. In 2021, Chartable reported that there were twice as many new English language podcasts that were started in 2020 compared to the previous year. And many languages saw much more growth, the highest being in Hindi, which grew 14 times more. That's double the growth of podcasts in Chinese or Spanish. Plus, currently, there are podcasts in 10 new languages, including Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, and even Assamese and Bhojpuri, to name a few. Podcast listenership is also a relatively young audience, and an Indian podcast app called JioSaavn released a podcast advertising playbook last year that said that 92% of their listenership was below the age of 35. There's also a relatively equal split between men and women listening. Now, to give you a little view of the audio streaming landscape in India compared to the world, the biggest players globally would be Apple with the largest chunk of the pie and Spotify close at their heels, along with Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and so on. However, the biggest giants in the audio streaming market in India are Gaana with 185 million monthly active users and JioSaavn with 104 million, while Spotify has about 74 million. Also, JioSaavn and Gaana have been active in India for over a decade, while Spotify only entered the Indian market in Feb 2019 and launched original podcasts in India in December that same year. Another really big audio streaming player called Wink Music incorporated podcasts into their audio ecosystem in December 2020. Also, Amazon Music integrated podcasts into their app in April 2021. So as you can tell, the podcast market in India is growing at a very fast rate in a very short span of time. And looking at women in this space, I've had the privilege of being part of Spotify's global initiative called Sound Up, where they support underrepresented voices in different countries. In India, they're investing in women in podcasting, and I've been lucky enough to be a facilitator where I'm teaching some incredible women how to make their podcasts. I have to admit, podcasting also has increasingly seen more women creators and women listening. I think there's so much more opportunity as podcasting is still relatively untamed, and the independent podcaster has a chance to be creatively bold and take that leap of faith and invest in themselves and what they believe in. I also hope more women take up technical roles like audio engineering or studio sound design or run their own recording studio or their own podcast business. I think that's where women can create an ecosystem where they're in charge and in key positions in the industry. Also, two things I'm really excited about is that I think there's so many ideas for shows that haven't been made yet, and women should be telling their stories, talking about their experiences, and imparting their expertise. The other thing that I'm looking forward to is how technology is going to keep up, because I don't think the gamut of advanced technological solutions have been explored in audio. And I think tech has not kept up with podcasting, and there's so much more room to explore. Thank you.